I see, guys. So I'm just going to sing in this audio program for as long as possible so I better my singing skills. Anyway, I see life is possible to the dream that you come in your life. You come in a nice way for yourself, and you just make sure that you live in life. You live the life of your dreams. You make sure you live life every single day. Every single day you live, you find a dream of tuning your skills every single day. You lead into the singing of life, and you make sure you live the nice, beautiful passion of your dream. And you sing, 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 and you sing, and you will find your dream of singing. Because every single day you need to understand there is a dream come true. And when you sing, you also life skills along the way, and you read and you read and you really understand. Oh, yeah, oh, Jesus Christ, I understand every single day that you dream every single day. Your nice and beautiful skills can play. With life is a dream, and life is a dream every single day. You have to learn to scream out into the oblivion. You learn how to actually scream into your lungs. You just learn how to understand to go for it now. Now. And now is your time to grow and live a life of your dream. You live a life of your dream. You understand something every single day. You just learn how to play. You learn how to play in your life. And you dream every single day. You just understand you want to be whatever you want to be. And sometimes you have to understand that you have the ability to sing and prosper every single day. I understand your dream is coming true. Your dream is coming true, and I understand when you understand that you need to understand life is just a dream. And life is just a dream, so teach yourself everything in life when you understand that you understand your life's a dream. So anyway, you can see life is always going its own way, and you learn how to play. You learn how to dream in the nice and beautiful fashion of your life. Every single day is gonna be a new day, but that's what you learn. You learn how to sing, you learn how to sing, you learn how to do anything possible for your dream. You have to understand that you are always gonna be doing better, and you have to grow anyway, even better. And now we grow and we grow, but now you realize that you really are like a rapper, and you have to understand what the rapper is, and you have to understand everything in life anyway. So we're dreaming all about this way and fashion statements. You have to talk yourself into your dream every single day. You need to play every single day that you understand life is a dream, and you need to dream of your life every single day. You have to understand that you live life now. Now you live life every single day. You learn, you play, you sing, you have every single day something to achieve. So you achieve a better life every single day. You just sing in the audio program every day. And you learn that your dream is coming true into play every single day. See, guys, so what's happening in my life today? You have to understand that always things are happening in terms of information in my life, but each and every single day I'm growing wiser, and I'm much more wiser than I've ever been in my life. and I'm doing things accordingly to being my better version to some degree. And I understand that. And now, what's making me unhappy in the moment right now? I promise you, nothing is making me unhappy except for myself. So nothing can make me unhappy unless I want to be unhappy. And now, I don't want to be unhappy, so I have to do the things every single day that's going to make me happy. And what makes me happy in life is what I do. For example, so you have to understand that if there's anything, if there's anything in life that I can give at the best possible rate, I understand it's information. I promise you, it's any kind of information. I promise you, you have to understand that recently I was making some music production. I was making some music and things were not working out for me. And why is that? Because I don't know what I'm doing. And because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to grow. But the thing is that when I compare my music to other people, it just falls short of glory. You have to understand it doesn't feel anything worthy. You have to understand that my music doesn't feel anything worthy when I compare it to other people. But when I compare my information to other people, then I find worthiness here. I find a lot of worthiness in my life. And now, why is that? Because I'm very wise. I'm very wise as a human being. And because I'm very wise, I do what's necessary in my life to succeed. So when I compare my information to other people's information, I go where the information is. You understand? I go where new information is. And because I go where new information is, I learn something. I learn something from that. But the thing is that I've been here with my information in my life, and I can see that things have to grow, and I have to grow, and I have to always develop myself in some kind of way. So I have to keep reading books. I have to make sure that every single day I'm working on my imagination every single day. I have to be making sure that I'm doing the most I can every single day to succeed. And that's what's important in my life. I realize the ability to express your thoughts and to express yourself is the best ability in the world. And if there's anything that I can do much greater than anything in the world is give wisdom. I can give wisdom to people. And that's my specialty. That's my expertise. That's my go-to. You understand? So when I look at myself in terms of music production and when I compare my music to other people's music, I promise you it doesn't feel like that I'm up to standard. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like I'm going anywhere, for example. But when I compare my music to how it is today, to how it was before, I understand that I've learned something. I've learned a lot in terms of FL Studio and being able to use the synths and everything like that. So I play around, and you have to understand that that is the key to having an extraordinary life. To be able to play around with your music. You understand? You have to play around with everything that you do, because that way you actually grow. So for example, from now on, I don't want to make audio programs while I do music production. I want to write in my journal instead, so that I can just do things with my journal, for example. So it's much more better for me because it gets boring in the audio programs when you are just making music and you're trying to listen to the music while you're talking, and it doesn't work out. So that's what I learned. And you have to understand that now, since my dad's gone somewhere, I promise you he went somewhere. So I'm alone in the house and I can be alone with myself. But the thing is that I've experienced life alone in my life. I've been alone all my life. And the thing is that every single day is a new day. And I have to always abbreviate much more in my life. I have to do much more in terms of words every single day. I have to talk out much more. I have to always see much more in terms of life. So the best way for me to do my work every single day is to always speak much more words. And that's the best thing I can do, is speak words into the planet and nothing else. You understand? And you have to understand that when I speak words into the planet, I make things come true for myself. You understand? Because I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to help myself to adapt much quicker and to be much more of a Speedy Gonzalez in life. You understand? So you have to understand that it's much more how you have to go slow and steady wins the race. So it's much more how you have to understand that there's always a way forward. You understand? But the thing is that when I express my thoughts every single day onto audio programs, it saves me time writing in my journal, for example. So I can express myself in my audio programs much more often, and that way I can do less in my journal, in terms of my writing journal, and I can do much more in audio programs. I can make sure that the audio programs the audio programs are my go-to in terms of journaling everything down, because that way I teach much more often this way, and you can hear my voice as well. So that's very important. So now, since I'm doing life, I see it's just the same thing, it's the same thing every day with different words. You understand? And nothing else. I promise you, it's the same thing, just differently every single day. And I'm doing everything different every single day as much as possible. I have to shift. I have to do a new approach. I have to do something different that I've never done. You understand? And what's that? I promise you, more information. I have to go places where I've never seen before. I have to travel. I have to do things. But traveling is coming up for me now. I'm going to go see my mum very soon. And that's going to be life changing for me. But the thing is that I want to document as much thoughts down. I want to do much more audio programs for myself while I'm overseas as well. And I want to be able to do my passions, because I understand that my mum is my passion as well. So the thing is that I'm always doing my work. I'm always doing my readiness of life. So it's much more how I understand that I need to do better in life. And what I need to do now is just write more words every single day and do the best I can. But the thing is that I understand that people are growing and everyone's growing around you. So everyone's growing their emotions regardless of what's happening in the world. And you have to understand that the world isn't all bad. You have to understand that the world's good. And God said it was good. God said that this world is good. You understand? And you have to understand that there's always a way forward and always something that you can do in life to do better. And now, people who are criminals don't have the information to be a non-criminal. You understand? So people who rob things or rob houses or rob cars, or people who kill people, are unaware of what they're doing. You understand? And they're dangerous to society, because you have to understand that they don't have the information. They're not growing. They're not growing themselves, and that's why they get themselves in trouble with the law. You understand? Because they're unaware, and that's how I almost got myself in trouble with the law, for example, because I was unaware. You understand? And now you have to understand that plenty of times in my life I've paid parking fines. I've paid fines for drinking alcohol on the train, for example, and for not buying train tickets, for example. You have to understand, every single time I go to the train station, I'll get myself a train ticket. You understand? I try to always be a member of society in a way that I'm contributing the most. And the only way that I can contribute, guys, is by speaking words. I promise you, nothing else matters to me other than that. You understand? You have to understand that music production is another way I contribute to the world. But the thing is that I'm not getting paid for that work. I'm not getting paid for what I do. You understand? The thing is that I am growing anyway, and I'm actually doing everything for free. You understand? Because I'm a free soul. I'm a free agent. You understand? And you have to understand that I rather do my music production for free than make money on my music production. Do you understand? And now, why is that? Because just the way it is. Unfortunately, it's more how I understand it's much more worthy for me to do everything for free, so that people can credit me and so that people can see my reputation and stuff like that. And it's different, and everything's different. But the thing is that with my YouTube channel, I'm going to be able to just upload and keep uploading my 29 years of age photos online, for example. So it's much more, it's going to be just that. And eventually, when I do some fashion photos again, eventually I'm going to go places and I'm going to visit spray paint anywhere, and I'm going to take more photos for myself so that I can have new photos. So what's changing online for me? I promise you, the thing is that people are not following me much, and the reason they're not following me much is because they don't believe in my information. You understand? So it's much more how they're unwilling to learn, and that's all it is. You have to understand that there is no reason for people not to follow me. Do you understand? And you have to understand that since I have a nice and beautiful Instagram, it paints a picture for people exactly how it looks. It paints a picture for people to see how I am, for example, in real life and stuff like that. But I've been, let's say, the person I was before and the person I am today is not quite there yet. Yes, and it's more of a work in progress. I'm working to get there. And slowly, every single day, I'm making small adjustments. Every single day, I'm looking for ways to improve. But if you want to quit drugs, or if you want to quit any kind of smoking or cigarettes or anything like that that's holding you back, then you have to understand to be in the mind. And the mind is the body, and the mind is also something that's your feelings. So you have to understand to be in your feelings and you have to process that information. You have to process everything that's going on. Do you understand? And you have to understand that you have to be in discomfort to overcome things in your life. So when you're growing, you have to be in discomfort. You understand? Because that's how it is. So you have to understand that once you put your mind to it and you're really, really focused upon that, and you're really focused upon achieving things for yourself, and you're really focused upon succeeding in life, then you will. I promise you. As long as you set your mind to it, you can do it. You understand? The thing is that I haven't been setting my mind to it, and I have and I haven't. You understand? The thing is that I write things down, and I say I'll quit this, I quit that, I quit that, and then I find myself eating that, and I find myself doing that. And the thing is that you have to understand that I find myself going backwards and forwards. So life is not backwards and forwards. Life is just go forwards. You understand? So the more you go forwards in life, the more you can understand. But the thing is that sometimes you need to go backwards in life to understand how it is to go forwards. You understand? So, for example, you have to understand that when I was younger, I understand I'm always younger throughout time in terms of my wisdom. But the thing is that when I was 27 years of age and 28 years of age, I was a different person. And you have to understand that it's much more I was at my best version and I was growing. But now I see exactly how the difference is between now and then. And the difference is that before I was much more disciplined in my life. I was much more disciplined. And I see exactly how much energy I have now and how much energy I had before. And I see exactly how much happier I was before than I am now, for example. So I was much happier when I was living, when I was 27 years of age and 28 years of age than the person I am today. You understand? And why is that? Because I made some changes in my life. And now, am I happy? I'm happy. I'm happy to some degree. But I'm not quite there yet. You understand? I'm not satisfied to the person I am today. You understand? So I have to work on myself to get satisfied. I have to be satisfied in life with the person I am. You understand? And now, do I dislike myself? I don't dislike myself. You understand? But I do things to kill myself at the moment. You understand? Because at the moment I'm smoking cigarettes and I'm drinking caffeine. And before I wasn't doing that. You understand? And that's what's holding me back. And also eating meat, for example. You understand? So the thing is that I reached my best version, and you have to understand that many people don't reach their best version in life. You understand? Approach they go throughout their whole life, for example, just being unaware of their best version. You understand? So when I was my best version, I was willing to just take my shirt off in front of people and do fashion photos in front of them. I was so confident, you understand? But now, today, I'm not willing to do that because I feel that I'm not at my best version. Do you understand? I feel there's no need for me to do it. Do you understand? But the thing is, I have to accept it. I have to accept the person I am today. Do you understand? I have to accept every single day that what my life is right now is different to how it was before. And I have much more information than I do at 27 and 28, for example. And what information's changed? I promise you some food information and some spiritual information, for example, has changed in life. So I'm understanding that things are changing in my life and information shapes your lives, but it's what you do with the information that counts. You understand? You can have all the wisdom in the world, but if you don't do what your wisdom tells you to do, then you're lying to yourself. Do you understand? I mean, you understand? So, I promise you, anybody who's lying to themselves every single day is their worst version. You understand? I promise you. So people who are liars and cheats are people who are always doing worse than yesterday. So make sure you understand I'm doing better in some areas, like I'm not stealing, I'm not killing anybody, I'm not, for example, killing other people. You understand? I'm not trying to kill them. I'm not trying to kill them with a knife. I'm not trying to kill them to murder them or anything like that. I'm not doing anything other than growth in terms of information. But the thing is that I'm much smarter than the person I was, and I'm thankful for that. You understand? Because that helps me to live life. You understand? So what helps me to live life every single day is more information. You understand? So that's what gives me more meaning in life. More information gives me more meaning. And the more I express myself to help other people, the more I want to live life. You understand? And that's something that you guys have to learn for yourselves. You see, guys, the good thing about me today is I have more information, and that's what I understand that keeps me alive. You understand? So, information is like hope, and the more information you have in life, the more hope you have, and the more faith you have. You understand? So, I'm very strong in my ability to never kill myself. I understand that any voices I may hear, I understand it's just my voice, and I understand that it's much more how I used to hear voices, for example, in my mind. I used to hear a lot of voices, and these voices were always telling me, kill, kill, kill. And for example, voices were telling me, like, for example, don't hang out with him. For example, it's like I had people in my mind, you understand? And you have to understand that I don't hear those voices anymore. But the thing is that I may hear the voice kill me, or kill, kill, kill. But the thing is that I'll never do that. Do you understand? The thing is that I don't take action upon my thoughts. You understand? The thing is that what I take action upon is my life, in terms of something that's much better than that. You understand? I make sure I use my logic to do better. You understand? But the thing is that I was very sick before, and you have to understand how sick I was. I was very unaware of the information I have today. And you have to understand how much information that is. I mean, that's a lot of information. Because back then I was very shy. I was a shy person. And you have to understand how shy I was. I was very shy to talk to a woman. I was shy to talk to people. I was very quiet. You understand? I was very quiet. And you have to understand, I'm very quiet today. I'm even much more quiet today than I am before. You understand? So that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing to be quiet around other people. I mean, never be the loudest one in the room. You understand? Because the loudest ones are the weakest ones. You understand? So make sure you understand something, that it's much more to be silent around people, because that way you'll live a better life. So around other people, try to be as stupid as possible. You understand? Try to be as stupid as possible. And they're going to love you anyway. So it's much more about that. But if you try to teach them something about smarts or something like that, they may resent you for it. You understand? So that's why I tried not to teach other people anything around life when I go around them. And you have to understand, that's what other people are doing to you right now. They don't want to teach you anything. You understand? They don't want to teach you much about life. So you have to seek out that information where people are teaching you. And you can only do that online. You can only go online today and read much more information, because that's your job, that's your duty. And if I didn't read what I read today, and if I didn't read what I did until now, I promise you I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't have this attitude. I wouldn't be aware as I am today. I wouldn't be understanding exactly what people are talking about and how the world shapes you in terms of information. But I was very scared. I was very scared to talk out information in front of people before. I was very afraid. And you have to understand that once I started building this experience of talking in front of people, I went and done a busking performance, and now that was my first busking performance. And you have to understand, I was very scared, and I was sitting down while I was doing it. And make sure that when you're giving a public speaking talk on the street, that you always stand up as much as possible, because that way you'll grow. And you have to understand that it's courage. I mean, it's courage to talk in front of other people, because like when you give out your thoughts, somebody may disagree with you and stuff like that and get into an argument with you. But the thing is that you must understand something. Never chuck your business card at other people. You understand? Because that's what I was doing before, and I learned something from that. So I have a better attitude now, because when I didn't pick up my business card, I'll get the business card and throw it on the floor so they can pick it up. That's an attitude that's not good. You understand? So it's not good to do that. You understand? Why is that? Because there's no R. It's much more. It's because if they don't want your business card, then just move on. Just say thank you and just move on. You understand? The thing is that it's more about being nice in front of other people. You understand? So if they don't want your business card the first time, I promise you they won't want it the second time around. You understand? But the thing is that when I found myself going around Australia, I went and I was always doing Uber. I was always going with Uber and stuff like that. And I always had a business card with me. You understand? I was always giving my business card to people. And those people would never search up to, let's say, contact me. I promise you, anybody who is online is never contacting me much, unless it's somebody who wants to promote my Instagram, for example, for me to pay them money to promote my Instagram. And there's plenty of those people. And you have to understand, so for example, when I was going around Australia, I was having a fun time. And the thing is, I was away from my dad and stuff like that. And I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't travel Australia. And I gave $35,000, and $38,000 I gave just to travel around Australia. And that was all with the government's money. You understand? So it's much more how, if I told the police that I went around Australia for that long on the government's payment, probably they'll put me in jail for it, because they'll be like, you're meant to be working, and that's why You get the payment, for example, from the government. You get the payment from the government just to be able to go to work. But what I was doing is I was traveling to new places with the money. You understand? And that's something that's illegal to do. You understand? I mean, by their law, it's illegal to do that. The thing is that I didn't care, and I just went. You know, saying no, nobody stopped me. But that's why I don't go to the police to tell them, "Hey, I went around Australia for 1 year and 8 months on your government's payment without you guys knowing." You understand? I don't say that because otherwise they'll put me in jail. Do you understand? But the thing is that I found freedom like that. You understand? I found that I'm free to do what I want to do like that, and I can still do that today. You understand? I can still do it today, but it's a different circumstance now. You understand? Stuff is different. You understand? So the thing is that I have to go without cigarettes. I have to go without caffeine to be at my best version every single day. And it's stupid for me to understand that. It's not stupid for me to understand, but it's stupid that I started cigarettes and caffeine in the first place. You understand? Because it doesn't help me to become anything much more. Do you understand? So what helps me in life is speaking much more words, because that's where the wisdom comes out. You understand? So when you explain things for yourself and when you do audio programs or something like that every single day, you're always doing your work, and you're always much more passionate when you're speaking much more words, because you can see and direct your life in accordance to what you've said. Do you understand? So what you teach other people is what your true wisdom is. But if you don't teach other people anything, then you have nothing left to learn. You understand? But actually, those people who don't teach other people are people who know it all. You understand? They think there's something big in the planet, and they don't cease to exist as much as other people who are teaching other people. So, for example, because I taught all that stuff that I did teach on YouTube and stuff like that, I built my confidence like this. I built my attitude like this. I built my sense of who I am in this manner. I mean, in a sense, so for example, if I didn't teach all that stuff that I did, I wouldn't have the attitude I am today. I mean, in a sense, I wouldn't have rich habits the way I do today, for example. And now, what are my rich habits? I'm pretty sure my rich habits are reading and storing my quotes, uploading content, and also producing much more audio and making sure that I use my voice to speak out much more as much as possible to produce content. And that's my attitude, you understand? So working is my attitude every single day. But I understand that one day I'm going to have to go a 9 to 5 job, and I'm going to have to make some money to have kids, for example, for myself. Do you understand? So that's something different, and that's the time to settle down. I mean, my mum said today in an audio program, and she says, "Oh, but Danny, you have to make money. You have to make money so that you can have kids, and so you can have a wife, and so you can provide for your family." You understand? And that's true. I mean, it's true, and I agree with her. But it's not the time for me to work 9 to 5 now. You understand? I want to work 9 to 5 on my time when I want to work the 9 to 5. You understand? And that's how it is. But am I ready for kids? At the moment, you have to understand I'm ready. I'm always ready to have kids. You understand? But the thing is, I'm more ready now to have a kid than I ever was before. You understand? Because before, when I had the opportunity to have kids, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to have a kid. You understand? I wasn't ready in terms of information. I wasn't ready in terms of teaching. I wasn't ready in terms of who I was. I was still finding myself. And you have to understand that when you find yourself in terms of the wisdom that you give to other people, and that's who you are. You understand? So, for example, the more you teach, the more you find yourself. You understand? So, before I was so depressed, and you have to understand, I didn't know what depression was. And now, what is depression to me today? Depression is something when you don't have a higher purpose, when you don't have anything to do in life, and all you do is drugs, and you don't read books, and you don't help other people as much as possible. That's a depression state. You understand? But people who help other people are much more inclined to never have depression ever again. You understand? So the way I help people is through information. And now other people would say, "Oh, but that's just information." I'm probably, yeah, it's information, but it's information that can help people. Because you have to understand how you can sharpen your mind this way. You can sharpen your mind by giving other people information. You understand? So you have to always grow yourself in the way that is always going to be something that's good for you. And do you know how many times I failed with my audio programs and with my ability to give out information? You have to understand, I failed so many times, and you have to understand each and every single time I did an audio program or any type of content in the planet where I produced it, I learned something from that. You understand? Every single time I produce more content, I learn something much more about life. You understand? Because you have to understand, you have to teach yourself the most in life. You have to teach yourself much more in life. And the best way to do that is to produce more. And the more you produce, the more you'll teach about your nature and who you are. You understand? So every single day, everyone makes things differently. Everyone makes music differently. For sure, everyone words their sentences differently. And you have to always be producing content to the degree that is best for you. You understand? So if you're not producing content out into the planet, then what you're doing is you're serving the planet through 9 to 5 work. You understand? And those people who are working like that are selfish. They're very selfish people, and you have to understand that they just are working for themselves, and that's it. I'm working for myself and working for you as well. You understand? So you have to understand that those people who like apprentices and electricians and mechanics and engineers and stuff like that are all just working for themselves. I mean, they're not producing any information for you. You understand? They're just working a 9 to 5 job because they have to do something. You understand? But the thing is that I am producing information for you so that your kids and so that your wife and dad and mom and all your family and all your friends can have something in terms of life that's concrete, pavement wisdom to help your life to succeed. Do you understand? That's what my audio programs are about. That's what everything that I'm about. I mean, you understand? I mean, that's the whole point of giving you everything that you are to people. Do you understand? So every time I upload something online, I upload it straight away to my Mega Drive, and it goes online, and people can search that up, and people can see exactly where my life is. But the thing is that I have to transcribe all my audio programs and all my quotes up online much more so that people can get to it much quicker, and so that people can invest in me, and so that people can see much more information this way, because that's how I do things at the moment. And you have to understand that eventually I will get to the stage where everything's uploaded online, and I'll be much happier for it. Yes, and I'll be much more inclined to just talk and talk and talk and upload content really quickly online so that I can help my life to succeed. And that's how life happens. Life happens differently all the time for everybody. Do you understand? So you have to understand that you have to direct your thinking. You have to direct your thoughts out there. And if you don't talk every single day to somebody out there, then you're always losing. You understand? You have to understand that I'm always talking to people. You understand? I'm talking to you right now. You understand? So you have to understand that if I'm not talking to anybody, I'm talking to myself. But the thing is that people who are not doing much content are always seeking social connection from other people, and they're always seeking validation from other people. But the thing is that I'm not seeking validation from other people because I have my own validation. You understand? I'm strong in who I am. You understand? Because I gave all the meanings of the world, and now there's plenty of more meanings to give. You understand? I didn't give everything, but I gave my whole soul to you right now and to everybody in terms of my information. You understand? And that's what God's asking of you to give, and you shall receive. You understand? So what you give is what you have in life. You understand? So what you give is what you shall receive, and what you sow is what you reap. You understand? So that's how you grow. I mean, you understand? So what you sow into the planet shall be yours. I mean, you understand? You have to plant a little seed in the market, and then eventually that market or that tree or that seed it goes into a massive tree, and then you'll actually grow from everything, and you'll have bananas and you'll have fruit and vegetables and everything that you want as long as you plant it into the world. You understand? So what you plant in this life is what you have. You understand? So that's all that you can give. You understand? So what other people cannot give you is because they don't have it. I mean, they don't have anything to give you in terms of information. You understand? So that's why they're not talking to you, because they have nothing left to give. You understand? So you have to understand that I don't talk to them because I talk to them online. I talk to them in a different channel. And now if they want to help themselves to read my information, so be it. I can help them. You understand? But I'm much more generous than the people I used to know. You understand? I'm much more generous than them because I give more information to people than they do. You understand? And that's what they're losing out on. I mean, they're losing a lot in this. I mean, in a sense, a lot of people are just unaware about how much they can do in terms of information work. But the thing is that luckily I have my purpose now. I have a strong purpose. So something that I can do all the time now. You understand? And I can always work a 9 to 5 job. And after my 9 to 5 job, I can just go and put everything into an audio program or put everything into a video program and just teach you straight away about my life. And that's all I can do. I mean, that's all I can provide to you in terms of wisdom and everything that I've learned. You understand? Because that's how life is. And life is always different every single day. And you have to look inside for help. You have to look inside of yourself to help people, because that's the only way forward. You understand? So everything that I've learned in terms of everything I've done in terms of gave has increased my attitude in the way that I bettered my attitude toward life. You understand? My attitude is much more better. I don't have problems with other people. I don't have negativity around me. You understand? Because I eliminated all that negativity from my life. The only negativity I have is something that is solely, for example, coming from me. But you have to understand, I'm never negative. You understand? But what's negative about me is if I smoke a cigarette or drink caffeine, for example, or eat meat. I mean, that's negative about me. But the thing is that it's much more how I have a great attitude about everything. You understand? So when I smoke a cigarette, I have a great attitude about it. You understand? The thing is that I don't try to, let's say, put you down. I don't try to put you down. I try to uplift you. I try to inspire you. I try to inspire everyone, even though I inspire myself. Do you understand? So, for example, I have to inspire myself to inspire other people. But the only way you can inspire other people is to give them words of encouragement. You understand? That's the only way you can inspire people. Or you can better your habits so that people can see you as your best version. And that's another way to inspire people. Do you understand? And that's something that you can do. But that's where I've been failing at my best version. Do you understand? But my best version can always speak words. I can always speak words into the planet. And that way I can always succeed this way. I can always help myself to succeed. Do you understand? So that's how I succeed in life. So anyway, guys, I understand that this program is more enough for you. I understand that there's always much more to say and there's always much more to do. But I have a lot of quotes that I have to transcribe. I have a lot of words to give as well in terms of other programs and stuff like that. So make sure you're tuning in and make sure that you read all my information so you can better your life. See, so guys, I've been doing my work and I've been doing writing materials and uploading quotes online, uploading videos, doing a lot of content in terms of producing words. And things are working out for me in some areas. But the thing is that I need to do better, and I'm not afraid to quit smoking. I'm not afraid to be a non-smoker. I'm not afraid to quit caffeine for good. But once I wake up in the morning, I just want to wake up, for example. So that's the time where I reach for a cigarette, and that's where I'll reach for a caffeine hit for myself. But the thing is that I understand something. I understand that if I live in the mind, I can overcome anything. I can do it because I believe in myself. And it's not hard. You have to understand that nothing is hard in life. But when you set your mind to it, I promise you can achieve it. You just have to grow yourself regardless of the situation. So for example, now I'm just going to get all the lighters. I'm going to put the cigarettes up for once and for all over here where my dad can see it. And I'm going to clean the table a bit. And what I want to do is also throw my jumper over there in the bedroom so I'll do better, and just turn off the light as well and be able to just tell you my story, for example. So my story, guys, every single day I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm doing the best I can every single day, and I need to always develop myself now, from now on. I'm understanding that when it's time to reach for a cigarette, I'm not going to reach for it. I'm understanding that. And the reason for that, I realize the reason for that is because I don't need cigarettes in my life. I can live without it. I want to get back to the version that I was. I want to be clean. I don't want to put poison down myself. I don't want to be poisonous in the world. And every single day that my dad smokes cigarettes in front of me, I'm going to make sure to go into the room over there and be on my own and do an audio program or do something just to succeed. And that's how it's going to be. But now I see it's much more time now to relax, to do my quotes, do my work, for example. I have to do my work. I have to sit down for 10 days. I have to write out all my quotes. And it's a long time. You have to understand, 10 days of life is a long time to be sitting down and writing quotes, for example. But it's something that needs to be done. It needs to be done, and I have to do it one step at a time. And it's going to get there. I'm going to get there. And so today I've been working on my quotes for 8 hours, just sitting down on my ass, on my bum, and just working. Just transcribing quotes, for example. But I've been reading as well. I've been reading while I've been doing it, which is good, which helps me to get some knowledge in me. And that way I succeed. I succeed very nicely in my life. And I want everything to work out for me. That's all I want. I want things to work out for me. But I'm not going back to cocaine. I'm not going to do weed again. I'm not going to do ecstasy and pills and methamphetamine. I mean, that's done. I mean, I've been there, I've done that, and I've had enough experience with that. And you have to understand, I'm very lucky because I overcame weed, for example. I was addicted to weed. I was addicted to drugs in terms of illegal drugs. I was never addicted to pills. I was never addicted to cocaine. I was never addicted to methamphetamine, but I was getting there. I was getting addicted to methamphetamine. But the most addictive drug that I can say that I was addicted to in terms of illegal drugs was weed. Weed was addictive for me. And I have a friend, for example, he smokes weed, and he's been smoking weed in front of his parents inside of the house for about 15 years. And he recently went to rehab, and then he came out of rehab. And he just said that he cannot quit. I mean, it doesn't, like when he smokes a bong, like when he smokes a cone, and it's called a cone, like you punch a cone. I mean, when he punches cones, it's like he needs to punch cones to feel normal again. You understand? Because otherwise he's down and depressed. But he doesn't understand that what you can do with that situation. You have to understand that weed makes you drowsy. I mean, it makes you very lazy. Weed makes you a very lazy person to be around. And nothing grows with people who do weed, for example. But since I'm understanding that I have words, I have much more passion. I have much more of a passion than all my friends, because I can speak words. And because I can speak words, I can do something about it. You understand? I can do something with my life in this term. I can shape my life with the words that I speak. You understand? And that's how I see life. I see life in that manner. And what I want to do is I want to do some Netflix while I talk to you, so that I'm living life much better for myself. And that's how it's going to be, guys. You have to understand that life is different all the time. But you have to figure it out. You have to figure out life. And the way you figure out life is you do life in a way that works for you. You have to understand, life is always working for you. Do you understand? I mean, everything's working for you. You have to understand that life is solely here so that you understand, so that you correlate in a better way, so that you're doing something in regards to progress out there, so that you make progress for yourself. Do you understand? You have to make progress in life. But I love my dad. I love my mum. Or else my mum and dad give me everything that they can in terms of life. And my mum's taking me to Dubrovnik, Croatia, and she said that she's going to pay for it. So I get to see Dubrovnik. I get to see Croatia. I get to see Croatia for myself. I get to go to Dubrovnik for a bit of time. And I'm just going to be there for the weekend, for example. I'm going to be there for the weekend, enjoying my life, doing things on my own with my mum over there and Toma. And now Toma's my dad's, in terms of my mum's girlfriend, in terms of my mum's boyfriend. And Toma's my mum's boyfriend in life. And I just want to be able to progress forward. I want to help myself to live life. So the best way I can do that is to do Netflix while I do audio programs. And that way I'm enjoying life much more. You understand? But there is a time to just do audio programs without Netflix. I understand that. And you can always task shift. You can always do things for yourself. You can help yourself grow. You can do whatever you want. You understand? It's your life. It's your choice what you want to do. But you have to watch people. You have to watch more people to see exactly the scenarios, the differences in different situations. You understand? And you have to put yourself in their shoes and understand things from their point of view. And you can do that by watching people. And the more you watch people, the more you can understand how you're going to be acting in those situations and what you will do in those situations, for example. So I'm understanding it's just about words. It's about it's just about words. It's about communication. And the more you can communicate life, in terms of the more you can communicate in life, the better you're going to become. You understand? But once I go to my mum's house, I understand for sure I'm not going to be smoking cigarettes over there because I cannot afford to smoke cigarettes. And nobody can afford to smoke cigarettes and do drugs. You have to understand that doing drugs is the worst thing in life. You have to be healthy. You have to become healthy. You have to become fit. You have to understand you have to do some walking every single day. Go for a walk somewhere. You have to help yourself in some kind of way. Do you understand? I mean, that's the whole point of life, is just to always talk and talk as much as you can. Live life the best way that you can, in the best degree that you can. Live life and enjoy it. Do you understand? You have to enjoy life. You have to enjoy yourself. You have to enjoy the person you are every single day. Because if you don't enjoy who you are, it's because you lack wisdom. You understand? You're lacking wisdom if you don't like yourself. So make sure you're always doing things that corresponds to loving yourself. So I have to get my teeth whitened. I have to go to the dentist very soon. So what day am I going to go to the dentist? I'm going to go maybe a week before I leave. A week before I leave to go to see my mum. So around, I leave on the 10th of June. So around the 3rd of June, I'll go and get my teeth done. I'll whiten my teeth so that I have bright white teeth and stuff like that, because I've been drinking coffee, for example. I've been drinking black coffee, and black coffee stains your teeth. Do you understand? So I have to go get my teeth cleaned, and from that I will see what to do from that point. So I'm out of breath, guys. You have to understand, I'm out of breath because I smoke cigarettes. You understand? And that's why that's suffering. You understand? I'm suffering to some degree. Because it's getting difficult to catch my breath. Do you understand? So I have to do things in terms of life where I understand where I can breathe much more easier in life. So that means not doing drugs, not smoking cigarettes anymore, because otherwise my breathing is going to get heavier and heavier. Do you understand? So I'm understanding that I've been poisoning myself more than enough in life. I'm ready to change. I'm ready to take that road where I can go alone and enjoy it. I can enjoy myself alone. And every single time where I think I'm going to reach for a cigarette, I'm going to go do an audio program instead. And I'm going to write down in my journal something so that I can help myself to overcome the cravings or whatever it is. But I understand it's very easy to quit smoking and stay a non-smoker. I understand that. I understand it's not difficult to do. But you can do it. You can understand that everyone can quit smoking or everyone can quit drugs. You understand? But the thing is that you have to discipline yourself. You have to make sure that you say no and enough is enough. You understand? So that's the way it is, guys. So what I'm doing now is I'm just doing some Netflix. I'm doing some Netflix for myself. And just enjoying life to the best of my degree. Living life differently, trying something new for myself. I understand now I can lay on this couch on my chest. I can lay on my chest on the front side of my body, and I can grab my phone and I can put my selfie stick underneath my chest and abdomen and just talk to you guys. I mean, you understand? Because that's what you need to do. You need to learn something. You need to grow. You have to make sure every single day that you're growing, because that's the only way forward, guys. So every single day, talk about something. Talk about your life. Talk about something that interests you. Do you understand? Work on your imagination. Work on who you are. Because the only way of life is that. I mean, yes, then you have to always improve yourself every single day. You have to be improving yourself. You have to be recollecting a better life for yourself. You have to understand to self-reflect upon your life. Give people your wisdom every single day. Because that's the most generous thing you can do. Is to give words of advice to other people. You understand? But the thing is that people around you don't want that advice. You have to understand that people around you are unwilling to listen to you. I promise you, have you ever met someone around you who's unwilling to listen to you? I promise you, there's many people in your life like that. They're unwilling to listen to you because they don't think your greatness. They don't understand you like you understand yourself. Am I right? You have to understand that plenty of people in my life have no time to listen to me. You understand? They have no time to, let's say, be a student of mine. You understand? Because they think they're smarter than me. Do you understand? So they're very arrogant and they're very ignorant people. Like my parents, for example, are very ignorant people. You understand? And they cannot be taught anything. Do you understand? I mean, you cannot teach them life. You cannot teach them anything about life. But they will go on teaching you life and stuff like that. But they're not teaching me much about life, to be honest. They're teaching me little by little. You understand? And what they teach me is what I teach you. And that's how it is. So you have to understand it's much more. You cannot teach people who cannot be taught anything. You understand? I mean, you have to be a good listener in life. And the more you listen, the better you are in life. So just always consider yourself someone in life. And when you consider yourself someone in life, you always do better. You understand? Because that's what the point is that's what the whole point is, for you to always understand something about life, to understand how people are, to understand the conditions that other people get themselves into. And you can do that by watching people. So when I'm watching people, I'm always understanding exactly how they feel, what they're doing in that moment, exactly what and how they're doing it, why they are doing it. For example, I'm learning exactly who they surround themselves with. For example, I asked the question, how great are they in life? Who's the main characters in the film? So I watched plenty of films that are not English, for example. And I never read subtitles. I never read subtitles of films. I have no time for that. And I never have time to listen to the audio of movies, for example. So when I watch a movie, I just watch the images. You understand? Because I have better things to do than listen to the audio in the actual films. But when I sit down at the cinema, that's when I listen to the audio as well. So that's the only place I listen to the audio of the film, is when I sit down at the cinema and I get myself into that occasion where I watch a film at the cinema. That's the only time that I listen to the audio of the cinema film. You understand? But that's the only time that I'll do it. And why is that? Because I'm listening to an audiobook. I'm listening to an audiobook while I either Netflix or I am doing other things. For example, I have other things. I have better things to do. And that's the whole point. You always have to find better things to do in your life. You have to always understand that you can do whatever you set your mind to. Do you understand? Because that's the way of life. And you have to always encourage yourself and other people to grow. Encourage the best things in life every single day. Learn as much as you can every single day. Do as much as you can. Love your life. Be the best version of yourself. Do you understand? That's the whole point of life. Is to always do as much as you can for yourself and other people. Because when you do that, you're going to find treasure. You're going to find wisdom. You're going to find a better deal. You're going to find something worthy to say. And that's the whole point of life, is just to understand something, to understand how you talk, to understand what you do. And I understand that the biggest thing I've learned out of everything that I've produced in my life is how to talk, for example, how to communicate. And that's my attitude today. I mean, the biggest thing I've learned from everything that I've done in terms of life, in terms of information that I've given, is a better attitude. I have a better attitude than other people. You understand? So I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to be a student. You understand? I don't get angry. I don't get negative on myself anymore. I don't have negative criticizing in my head anymore. So I used to be someone who was always criticizing myself negatively. Do you understand? And why is that? Because I was always negative in terms of always putting myself down, always shaming myself, always crying. You understand? I was always crying. I was always putting myself down. I wasn't uplifting myself. I wasn't talking to myself in a beautiful way. You understand? So it was always like I was hitting my head with physically hitting my head, for example. I was running through fences. I was damaging myself so that I can get the reputation to be someone in front of my friends. You understand? That's never the way. You understand? I mean, if you have to earn a reputation in front of other people, then you've already lost. Yeah, I mean, do you understand? You don't have to earn a reputation with other people. Earn a reputation with yourself. You understand? I mean, you have to understand it's more how you have to give respect every single day to yourself and other people, and understand that if you're going to have and achieve a high status in life, then you're going to understand that once you get there, that it's not something that's extraordinary. I mean, you understand? Actually, plenty of people who are famous today are falling apart. I mean, they're falling apart in their life. Like, for example, Johnny Depp. I mean, Johnny Depp is hitting his wife, for example, and drinking tons of wine. I mean, drinking tons of alcohol. I mean, he doesn't look as good as he used to. I mean, you understand? So the thing is that he has money, but money doesn't bring happiness. You understand? Money brings experiences, and now experiences is happiness. And it's nice to have money in your life. I'm not saying that money is evil. I mean, money is never evil. But my mum believes so. My mum believes that money is evil. I mean, money is not evil. Apparently, money is something that you use to help your life. Do you understand? But people who do evil things with money, and then you can call it evil. Do you understand? Apparently, money is always good. I mean, you have to understand it's how you use the money. I mean, if you gave $1 million for someone else to kill someone else, then that's evil. You understand? But it's how you use the money. Do you understand? So money is not the root of all evil. You understand? Money isn't the root of all evil. Apparently, now the love of money. Apparently, you have to understand that the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, what does that mean? You have to understand that's said in the Bible. I mean, the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. So, what the Bible is referring to is that if you love money so much that you'll do anything to get it, apparently, then it's the evil. You understand? Because you would cause criminal activity. You would steal money. You would kill someone for money, for example. Apparently, that's evil. You understand? Doing things that where you have to understand it's not about doing anything for money. I promise you, money comes easily. You understand? Money is something you make throughout time, and you have to understand that it's much more how you have to develop yourself anyway. I promise you, money doesn't develop your attitude. Money doesn't develop you as a person. You understand? What develops you in life is yourself. You're the only one that can develop yourself, guys. So everyone's alone. I mean, you have to understand that I'm so glad that I have a YouTube channel. I'm so glad that I started a YouTube channel because I make a difference. I make some kind of difference in life. And nobody else is Danny Milivojevic. Nobody else can be me in life. I'm the most successful in that. I'm the most successful in being Danny Milivojevic. Do you understand? But you can never get to me because I never get angry. You understand? I never get angry at people. I never raise my tone at people. You understand? I'm always happy. I'm happy. And that's because I have a greater attitude. And I'm never self-criticizing myself. Do you understand? I'm never putting myself down. I'm never shaming myself. I'm never calling myself an idiot. You understand? But I am an idiot, to be honest. I am also stupid. I'm stupid and an idiot because I am to some degree. But the thing is that I'm also unaware to some degree. Do you understand? I'm unaware of things. I make mistakes, for example, but I don't put myself down. You understand? I don't try to kill myself. You understand? I don't try to commit suicide. And you have to understand that it's more how before I never tried to commit suicide in my life. I never tried to harm myself. But the thing is that I did harm myself with drugs. You understand? That's different. I mean, it's the same thing, but you have to understand that I'm not that type of guy anymore to kill myself with drugs. Do you understand? I'm not that type of guy to hinder my success anymore. So it's much more how I'm moving on. I'm moving on with life. I'm doing things out of the ordinary. Do you understand? And what's that? I promise you, it's more how I'm just speaking words. Words is what is out of the ordinary in life. I promise you, the more you speak words, the more you can help people. You understand? You help people through information. You give them as much information as possible. And when you do that, you just live life much better because you're just much more aware about what you want to achieve about life. Do you understand? So it's a nice thing to be able to watch Netflix and also to speak words because it just keeps me occupied. You understand? And while I'm doing my work, I'm watching Netflix and I'm helping myself to succeed and I'm making more content. And that's the beautiful thing about life where I can explain myself and just be in silence sometimes. I mean, there's a time where I just want to be silent. I just want to be in silence sometimes. I just want to listen to silence sometimes. You understand? I don't want any music in my life when I want silence. But at the same time that I do want music in my life as well overall. I mean, it's much more how there's a time to just listen to silence. Do you understand what I mean? And there's a time to get off the computer. There's a time to get off your phones. Do you understand? There's a time to have a shower. There's a time to improve yourself, to improve your look, to groom yourself, to brush your teeth, to do things for yourself. Do you understand? So what I want to do is tomorrow, in terms of today actually, I want to go to poker. I want to sit down with people. I want to just relax. And I'm still relaxing, but the thing is that I want to get out of the house for a bit. I've been stuck in my house for about 7 days. You understand? So I've just been going to the shop and that's it. So it's much more how time's flying. I mean, time's going really quickly. So it's going to be nice to travel a bit to my mum over there and just stay with my mum for a bit and change my environment just for a bit. And then I'm aging as I grow. And things are different for me, but I understand that what I'm going to do is always succeed to some level and degree. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to do my best work every single day. I'm going to succeed the best way I can for myself because that's what matters to me. What matters to me is a better way of life every single day, and always learning, always growing as much as I can, and nothing else. I'm always doing my imagination much more in terms of life. I'm doing much more imagination work. And how do I do that? I watch more images on Netflix. I speak more words. And I upload more content, for example. And everything's a slow outcome. You have to understand everything's very quick and everything's very slow at the same time. So it just depends on you. It depends on how fast you want to grow. Do you understand? But growing is an amazing journey. Yeah, and you have to understand that some people are living in miserable lives. I mean, they're not happy with what they have, for example. You have to understand that many people are bored. They're bored to some degree. I'm pretty sure they have nothing to do. And I look at these people from the past, for example, when they turn 70 years of age, for example. This is when they have an age pension, for example. And it's much more how they're not doing much, to be honest. They have no social media. You understand? But then they look at me over here and they see Danny's doing social media. You understand? So it's much more how they're going to be in awe. They're going to really understand my success. Or else my plan is to have at least 70,000 videos on YouTube or something like that, so I can make a big impact, so I can talk as much as possible. I want to talk at least 30 years of my life. I just want to talk it into an audio program and put it up on YouTube. And just do a bunch of work. I mean, just do a bunch of work documenting myself every day as much as possible. Living my life to the best degree that I can every single day. Just doing as much as possible in terms of words, and giving you my life story. You understand? That's what matters to me in life. Having a higher purpose every single day. I mean, that's the best thing that I can do for myself. Is always growing some kind of way and fashion. But what I find, for example, when I am doing Netflix and when I'm talking to you guys, is that it keeps me company. It keeps me company in terms of life, where I'm just talking in a way that helps me grow. And the way I help myself grow is I find ways to succeed. So for example, for money, in terms of to have money in life, you have to understand it's either you're getting money from the government or you're going to a 9 to 5 job to make it for yourself, or you're searching for real estate and you get an investor and you get someone to invest in your real estate while you cash flow. Actually, those are the only ways to make money these days. And also if you speak words. And if you speak much more words, you'll make more money, I promise you. But actually, money comes in the form of words and wisdom. So the more wisdom you have in life, the more you read and the more you talk words, the more money you have. I believe that to be true. You understand? So it's much more how you have to understand money comes in health as well. I mean, the more health you have in life, the better your life is going to be, because health, you can never replace health. I promise you, health is something that has to be with you, because health is wealth. You have to feel good every single day. You have to be feeling good about yourself. You have to every single day help people to thrive in some kind of way. You have to give out your thoughts into the planet every single day, learning to abbreviate, learning to understand something every single day, writing as much books as you can. So for example, with books, I just make video and audio programs and I journal things down in my writing journal. And I make quotes. I make quote books, for example, but I'm not going to make any more books in terms of life, because I make everything in videos. I make everything in audio programs, and I'll just upload it to YouTube, for example. So, for example, when you see a book, a paper cover book, I never make any paper cover books. I never make a hard copy of a book, ever, because there's no time to promote it. And also, it's much more how I don't want to go that path where I have a hardcover book, because you give too much money for that when other people are not even watching it, for example. So it's much more how I don't market myself much online. And the reason for that is that people are trying to, let's say, not make you successful. And it's more how I promote myself to some degree, but I let it be at that. You understand? I let it be to some degree. You understand? I post things on my Instagram, and who wants to watch can watch. And I upload weekly to my Instagram. Story. And not Instagram story, I realized Instagram stories I upload every single day. But I upload, in terms of life, to Instagram stories every single day. And I upload to my Instagram page every single week. I upload photos of myself. And now I'm asking Jesus Christ, what should I do for my YouTube thumbnail channel? What should I do for my YouTube thumbnails over here for the rest of my life? I see Jesus Christ says, just use the photos that you have. Just use the photos that you have. I understand. I'm just going to do that. So it's much more how I use all the photos that I have and just repeat it, Jesus Christ. I see Jesus Christ says, yeah, just repeat it. Repeat everything. And that way it's much more how it's going to be. And I ask Jesus Christ, shall I do some more fashion photos in the future? I see Jesus Christ says, yeah, when you have a chance. When I have a chance to do it. And I'll ask Jesus Christ everything, because God's always with you in knowledge, you understand? It's more how you make sense of everything. And pretty much the whole point of life is to make sense. And the more you make common sense, the more you live life, do you understand? So it's much more, you have to be a common sense worker. You have to make common sense in the world. I mean, do what makes common sense in life for you. And never look back. I mean, you have to understand, when you look back, just self-reflect and teach people from what you understand. You understand? Because many people are not teaching these days. And they're losing. So I never want to go to schools ever again to public speak over there, because it didn't work out for me. And the thing is that I don't want to do it because they won't allow me to do it. You understand? They won't allow me to speak in front of kids. And I can do that work on YouTube anyway. So it's more how I'm becoming a minimalist in terms of what I can do in life. You understand? And what I can do is just words every single day. I'm understanding that's what my passion is. Just documenting as much as possible, so that if I have kids in life, they can always read from me. They can always get the best content from me. And that's the most important thing every single day, to just read as much as possible, to be a resource of information for people to understand much more about you and other people as well. And just so you give your story out there, because that's very important, guys. It's very important to give your story. So the more you give your story, the more you can understand. Everything starts with a story. Do you understand? Actually, everybody has a story to tell you and to give you about their life, but many people are not expressing their story in life, and that's why they're losing in life. You understand? They're losing a lot because I don't think that they are great. They seek other people in terms of the information from the people around them, and they don't go as far as that. Do you understand? But I seek my information online as much as possible. I go and read books as much as possible. You understand? I invest my money in books as much as possible. So if I had kids today, I would make sure that they read books from Blinkist as much as possible, and then YouTube. And then from that point, I make the most affordable rate for them to make sure that we can save money together so that we can have much more in the future. But the thing is that at the same time, you have to save some money so you have some money in your pocket. But when you have a lot of money, then you have to invest it somewhere. And now when you have a lot of money, make sure you invest it into real estate and make sure that you cash flow. You understand? That's the best way. So it's much more in terms of life. I want to ask myself a question over here. Why am I not pursuing real estate? And the reason is because I'm going to Germany. I'm going to Germany, and it's not the best time right now for me to pursue real estate. I Jesus Christ, is it the best time for me to pursue real estate right now? I said, Jesus Christ says no. I said, Jesus Christ says no. I see I can pursue the information of real estate. I can do that, but that's all I can do at the moment. You understand? Because when you understand something, that I'm moving overseas very soon. And because I'm moving overseas very soon, I'm going to be with my mum over there, and I'm going to be working a 9-to-5 job over there. And it's a different country. I mean, it's going to be much more difficult to get an investor over there. You understand? So things are different for me. So I'm going to go that path where I'm just going to be someone in society who has a lot of information to give, and that's it. You understand? So that's all I want to be doing, is giving just information, giving as much information as possible every single day. I want to focus on nothing else but information every single day. And just creating as much music as possible, creating as much as I can every single day. And nothing else. I'm probably just creating as much as possible. Living my dream, living the dream every single day, doing the most I can for myself to grow, to live, to love, to understand, to laugh as well. You understand, to have a good time for myself. But luckily, I don't seek attention from the people of the past anymore. And the reason for that is because I don't need them. I don't need their attention. You understand? So that's why I don't go where they go. And I'm learning from the past as well, because the World Cup is happening very soon. And the Serbian community is going to go to Bonnering Festival over here. And they're going to go to a place where it's a festival for Serbian people. And I'm not going to go for the first time ever. I'm not going to go there because I'm not going to go there for the first time ever since I've been conscious of the event. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to see those people. I'm also not going to go where they go to watch the World Cup, to watch soccer in terms of the Serbian national team. I'm not going to go with them. I'm not going to be with them at all so that I can live my life better. And I'm not going to be around them at all because I moved on. I moved on with my life, and I don't want to be associated with those people. And why is that? I promise you, it's not because I hate them. I don't hate them. It's more how I don't hate those people, but it's because that I've just moved on in a way that I don't want anything to do with those people. Do you understand? And because why? I understand because it's more how I am today. I understand the information. I understand their information is something interesting. But the thing is that I have better things to do than be around those people. And that's just my reason. You understand? Just I don't want to be with the people of the past anymore. You understand? I want to go my own way. I want to go to new people. I want to take myself on a journey. And that's all I want to do. I want to live life the best way I can every single day. And that's my dream come true. That's the dream come true. To live your life every single day the best way you can. Understand? And doing the best you can every single day. Personally, nothing else makes me happier. So eventually I'm going to get off the medication eventually. Hopefully, if the doctor wants me to get off the medication. So for me, I understand that eventually I'm just going to get off the medication very soon. And then my disability support pension is going away, for example. And then I'll start working a 9 to 5 job. Or I'll start traveling Australia, depending on what's happening. And then I'm going to see Australia a bit more, or depending on what's going to happen. I'm either going to work a 9 to 5 job in Australia, or travel in Australia a bit, or go overseas and just be with my mum. So it just depends. I mean, time's going to reveal everything. Time's revealing everything slowly. So my life is going to be much more added in terms of I'm going to be understanding that my life is going to be adding much more words to the dictionary of life, and that's how I grow myself to the best version of myself. I grow myself every single day the best way I can. And that's all I can do. I mean, every single day. Just doing the best job I can. So anyway, guys, I think that's more than enough for this audio program. I hope that you guys have enjoyed, and just make sure that you guys are listening. I mean, that you guys are really, really invested in yourself every single day, that you're really, really growing yourself, because that's the only way of life. Do you understand? To just talk it out for yourself much more, and to understand that you have to always promote yourself, because there's nothing grander than that. There's always a way, there's always a moving, I mean, there's always a way to be moving forward. You understand? So keep your hopes up and make sure that you live life.